Welcome aboard, everybody. I'm American Dan, and this is Wings and Rex. It's a new year, so we got some new stuff to check out here. We're on the ground in King Kalib Airbase in Saudi Arabia, and we're going to fly the 414 to Cairo, Egypt, on an IFR flight plan using Say Intentions. You will see that the GTNs look a little different. We have upgraded our GTNs to the TDS Simulation Software's GTN XI 750/650 combo, and this will be the first time I've used it. I just installed it, just got everything updated. Haven't even turned it on yet, so this will be a good flight to get used to that and compare it to how much more functionality we have compared to the freeware PMS 50. The other new thing we're going to do is Say Intentions has brought out yet another new feature, and we're going to try it out. You can get your VFR or IFR clearance via your cell phone, via text message. So I've got that all set up, got my number programmed in the pilot portal on the website, and we're going to text and see if we can get our clearance for this IFR flight. Pick up IFR. Copy your IFR clearance request. Stand by. Clear to Cairo Airport, departure fly radar vectors to AVH, then as filed, departure runway 24, initial climb to 10,000, departure on 124.5, squawk 2332. No readback required. Do not click new flight when starting. Take care. Okay, so apparently we have our clearance. Let's go ahead and get the plane set up here. All right, and let's focus in on the GTNs over here. Okay, so our train avoidance and awareness system is good. First thing I want to do is get the flight plan in here. I've already done the flight plan on Navigraph, so a quick and easy way we can do this is we can just go catalog and then menu and then import, and we have the flight plan here, OEKM to HECA. We look through here, we make sure nothing's locked. Looks good, so we'll go ahead and activate it. Replace active route. Now, does it cross-fill? Doesn't look like it. So if we go here to this one, we'll leave this one on map. We'll go to the number 2, we'll go to charts. We'll go to full, and that gives us our airport diagram. Runway 24 is the active runway according to the ATIS, so we will just taxi over here, I assume is what ground's going to give us. Probably taxiway Bravo. We'll set our altitude selector to 10,000 because that's our initial climb. There we go, 10,000. And we've got good old Uncle Harley on board today, so hopefully he'll provide some entertainment. Harley, are you there?
I'm right here, American Dan, ready to help you with anything aviation related. What do you want to know?
Did you bring any tacos?
Oh, American Dan, if I had tacos, I'd be the happiest co-pilot in the sky. But alas, I only brought my love for aviation and a few good jokes. Speaking of which, did you hear about the pilot who always carried a pencil? He wanted to draw his own conclusions.
Ha ha ha. That's a pretty bad dad joke. Here, King Kalib ground, twin Cessna November 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey, ready to taxi the active with the weather. I lied. I really don't have the weather.
Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha. Whiskey Commerce Ground, taxi to runway 24 via Bravo.
Taxi to runway 24 via Bravo for 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey. You can see on the second GTN unit there, the moving map has got us going on the taxiway. So that's convenient. That'll help out a lot in unfamiliar airports without having to use Navigraph on an external piece of equipment. There's a pop-out window that you can pop out, and if you have a touch screen, you can basically use it just like the regular GTN in a real airplane.
Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey, Canis Tower, cleared for takeoff, runway 24. After departure, fly runway heading until reaching 10,000 feet, then proceed on course.
Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey is cleared for takeoff on runway 24, fly heading 240 until 10,000 feet, and then presume on course for 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey. All the way to 10,000 on 240. Okay, well, I guess that's only 4,000 feet, or 3,600 feet. We are currently at 64, actually 67, if I set the altimeter correctly. There we go. Takeoff power set. Airspeed's alive. Fuel flow looks good. Temperatures look good. There's 60 knots. 70. 90. 95. A little bit of back pressure right off the runway. Positive rate, gears coming up.
Twin Cessna Whiskey Alpha. Whiskey, radar contact. 2 east of RBHR at 10,000 feet. Heading 240. ABA QNH 1025. Turn right heading 275. Vectors to ABHA. Then on navigation.
275. Right 275. And then on navigation for Whiskey Alpha Whiskey. I forgot the waypoint name. Abacha or something like that. Alpha departure, Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey, request climb to 180.
Twin Cessna Whiskey Alpha Whiskey. Climb altitude 18,000 feet.
Climb to flight level 180 for 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey. Let's go back to the fuel planner here. And we'll go from present position, use sensor data. There's our altitude warning. Right now in the climb, it says we're going to be 94.0 gallons short. Interesting. We might have to make a fuel stop, but we'll see how things change once we pull back the power and everything in cruise here. We've got 615 nautical mile range at this power setting, 3 hours and 26 minutes. All right, we're going to be leveling off in a couple hundred feet here, and then we'll get set up for an economy cruise. The suggested cruise profile in the sim brief was 2300 RPMs at 31 inches of manifold pressure, so we'll see what that gives us. Alright, we are leveling off at flight level 180. That also means we need to change our altimeter to standard, which is gonna make us climb a few extra 100 feet. Pretty much nothing but desert out there. Well, we got the ocean off to the left, but not much to look at except for some cool looking sand. Well, we are in cruise, and we are going to be here for a while. So I'm probably going to cut out most of this out of the video, and we'll pick you up when we decide to make our fuel stop or not.
Oh, American Dan, I'm having a blast. The view from up here is just as good as the tacos I wish I had. Speaking of views, did you know that the Cessna can give you a great perspective on weather patterns? It's a fantastic way to learn how to read clouds and anticipate changes in conditions.
Can't you do that in any airplane?
Well, American Dan, while many techniques can be applied across different aircraft, each model has its own quirks. For example, managing the autopilot in a Cessna is different from a larger jet. The Cessna's autopilot is more basic, so you have to be hands-on with navigation and altitude adjustments. Just like a good taco recipe, it's all about knowing your ingredients.
I do like me some tacos. Have you ever been to Cairo before, Harley?
I've flown over Cairo a few times, American Dan. It's a fascinating city with a rich history. Speaking of history, did you know that the pyramids were built over 4,500 years ago? Now let's focus on our approach to Heka. Remember to set up for the ILS approach to runway 5R.
That's runway 5 right, man. Right, 5R. That's annoying. It's just one of those things that drives me nuts. Just say 5 right. What can you tell me about the airport in Cairo?
Cairo International Airport, Heka, is a major hub in Egypt with a single runway that operates in both directions. It's known for its busy traffic and can handle a variety of aircraft sizes. Make sure to check the NOTAMs for any updates on runway conditions or airspace restrictions before we land. Also, the ILS approach to runway 5R can be quite busy, so stay sharp on your communications.
581, Jeddah Control, roger.
Estimated time to destination, 2 hours and 35 minutes. And we have 2 hours and 21 minutes of fuel.
Twin Cessna Whiskey Alpha. Whiskey. Descent coming up in about 20 minutes. Just say the word if you'd like to start down earlier.
As soon as we made that little turn there, we kind of got a little bit of a tailwind that bumped up our ground speed, so that's going to help us out a little bit. And we should be getting our descent here in about 20 minutes. So supposedly with this being able to use your phone thing too, you can text the Say Intentions ATC and ask the weather. So we're gonna do that right now. What is the weather at HECA? Cairo International Airport Information Tango 0030 Zulu, wind 055 at 3, visibility 10, sky conditions clear, temperature 12, dew point 6, QNH 1018, density altitude 100 feet, transition level 50, arriving and departing runways 23 left, 05 centered, 23 centered, 05 right, 05 left, 23 right. Visual approaches in use. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested, read back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures, contact clearance, delivery on 120.1. Advise on initial contact. You have information Tango. Alright, well, we're 40 minutes from now, so that should still be current if it only updates once an hour, because it's only 7 minutes past the hour. Alright, so 4,500 at the Cairo VOR. Would be 620 feet a minute now. I wonder what kind of descent profile ATC is going to set us up for. Top of descent is right here, so we're about give or take 8 miles or so from top of descent, and we'll see if ATC gives it to us there or if we have to give them a little bit of a reminder. But I might hold off just a little bit past top of descent, that way I can save more energy for the way down and just descend at a little steeper rate. hold the throttle back further. We are 75 miles counting the whole approach, because you go out past the Cairo VOR and then come around. We're about 45 miles in a direct line to the airport. We should pick up the ATIS. I'm monitoring COM2, but because this GTN over here is froze up, I don't know if COM2 is working, so we're just going to go 120.5 on COM1 real quick.
-0.
There we
Sky
go.
conditions, clear. Temperature 12. Dew point 6. QNH 1018. Density altitude -100 feet. Transition level 50. Arriving and departing runways 23 left, 05 center, 23 center, 05 right, 05 left, 23 right. Visual approach is in use. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures contact clearance delivery on 120.1. Advise on initial contact you have information Tango.
Alright, that's the
Cairo
same
International
thing we got
Airport,
over the phone.
information Tango. 00.
Cairo Control, Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey back with you.
Twin Cessna Whiskey Alpha. Whiskey, whenever you'd like, descend. Flight level 120.
Descend flight level 120 at our discretion. Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey.
Twin Cessna Whiskey Alpha. Whiskey, descend altitude 3000, QNH 1018.
Descend to 3000. QNH 1018. Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey.
Twin Cessna Whiskey Alpha. Whiskey, contact Cairo. Approach on 119.05.
Switching to Cairo approach on 119.05. Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey. Cairo approach. Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey. Good afternoon. Descending through flight level 170 down to 3500.
Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha, Whiskey Cairo approach. Identified. Good afternoon. Expect the ILS runway 5 right approach into Cairo.
Expect the ILS runway 5 right approach. Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey.
Twin Cessna Whiskey Alpha, Whiskey, turn right, heading 125.
Turning right, heading 125. Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey.
Twin Cessna Whiskey Alpha, Whiskey, cleared direct to Cairo.
Cleared direct to Cairo. Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey.
Yeah, I don't have time for turning me around the wrong way here. We are fuel critical. So it's 2,700 feet at the initial approach fix. The missed approach is climb straight ahead to 1,500, then right turn on 079 to 2,500 or as directed. Missed approach with comms or radar failure, climb straight ahead to 1,500, then right to 079 to 2,500, then right to VOR at 4,500 and hold. Okay, we can below 4,500 feet. We can't be going faster than 220 knots. During ACFT starting turn, intercept localizer no faster than 210 knots. And slow to 180 until 5 miles. Keep it at 160 until 5 miles. That's what the chart says. Pilots must inform ATC in case of the necessity of changing the speed.
Twin Cessna Whiskey Alpha,
Non-adherence to
Whiskey,
speed
turn left, heading
adjustments due to
230.
aircraft performance.
Left heading 230, Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey.
You gave me direct Cairo. Stop giving me headings, please. Approach Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey. We would like to fly the whole ILS approach from Cairo.
Twin Cessna Whiskey Alpha, Whiskey, request denied due to traffic.
Approach Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey is fuel critical. We need immediate vectors to the ILS.
Twin Cessna Whiskey Alpha, Whiskey, turn right, heading 255.
Right to heading 255. Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey.
Cool shot of the pyramids out the window.
Cairo Tower, Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha. Whiskey Cairo Tower, can you confirm clearance for the ILS approach to runway 5 right?
Twin Cessna Whiskey Alpha Whiskey, cleared for the ILS approach to runway 5 right.
Cleared for the ILS approach to runway 5 right. Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey.
I'll hold off on the gear for now. We're a little bit below 2700. We're at 25, so we'll just level off here for a minute. First notch of flaps is in. Props are forward, mixture's full. Second notch of flaps is in. Little right to center line, but overall not bad. It's a very long runway, so we'll just let it coast. Save the brake pads.
Cessna Whiskey Alpha Whiskey, welcome to Cairo. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Switching to ground on 121.9er.
Cairo ground, Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey. Runway clear. Ready to taxi to the gate. Ground. Chancellor 8 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey. Requesting progressive taxi to general aviation parking. We're not familiar with the airport.
Twin Cessna Whiskey Alpha. Whiskey, taxi to general aviation parking via exit 3, Foxtrot, Hotel 2, Hotel Lima, cross runway 23 center, then Tango Juliet. Progressive taxi path will be turned on for you. Have a good day.
Alright, we're cleared to cross the runway. We lost an engine on taxi, but hey, we landed safe. Alright, well, we made it to Cairo, Egypt from Saudi Arabia, a total flight time of 5 hours and 20 minutes. Quite the flight. Overall, great experience with both the using the text for ATC and ATIS. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to hit the like and subscribe and drop a comment below if you have anything to say. I love getting comments from you guys. I try to respond to each and every one of them. If you want to try out Say Intentions for yourself, like I said earlier, there is a link in the description below. Click on that link. Get yourself a free 24-hour trial. If you decide to keep it, it does help out the channel. I didn't really use it in this video, but there is also a link to the Beam eye tracker if you're interested in using that. If you haven't seen my video on the Beam eye tracker, be sure to check that out. Until next time, I'm American Dan, and I'll see you later.